And
Yeah.
welcome back to another episode of Convos with Your Mom's Favorites with hosts Moe and Greg. I am Moe.
And I am Greg.
And we are back.
Yeah.
We are back with another episode for who?
The people.
The people. Uncle G, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I am doing fantastic.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Doing good. It's it's a good day.
Despite the heat?
Despite the heat. Despite the heat.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Despite the heat. I actually, as you see, I bought an air conditioner.
Yeah, man. That feels good. It feels good in here.
Because I just can't deal with that kind of heat. It's never been a fan. So, I bought an air conditioner to help combat it, and it is doing a wonderful job at combating the heat. So I'm not mad at it. But we are here to talk about stuff and things and things and stuff and stuff and things and things and stuff. And we're going to start with, very briefly, just to get this out the way, because honestly, I think we've been talking about this for a long time. And
kind of like talked it out.
Yeah, there's not much left to say, but I did go see The Flash last night, and you have seen it as well.
Yes, I have.
And let me just say, I enjoyed it a whole lot better than I was expecting to. Despite what people like, I didn't get what people like. People were like really trashing this movie, and I didn't get it because it wasn't that bad. Like, it was quite enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm my review of it is the same. It was enjoyable. It was not as bad as people, So again, go see it if you have not seen it yet. Go see it for yourself again, because it's not as bad as some of the harsher critics have said. Because again, when you go to see it and you hold it in comparison to some of the other stuff that's already out there and some of the stuff you probably have already seen, it holds up. It holds up. It really does. Like, it holds up. Yeah.
Yeah, but go see The Flash.
Go see it.
It was I enjoyed it a whole lot, and I'm looking forward to what's next from DC.
Yeah.
So,
which is the Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
Yeah, that's coming.
The trailer comes out today as we're recording this.
Really?
Yes, the full length.
The full length trailer.
The full length trailer comes out today as we're recording this.
Okay. I'm still kind of on the edge about it, but I will probably.
I'm just very excited.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So, also, just while we're on DC, let's just stay here for a little bit. I did watch the first 2 episodes of My Adventures with Superman, My Day with Superman, the Superman cartoon.
Yeah. What's it called? I think it's My Adventures.
My Adventures with Superman. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
I do apologize for butchering the name, but that's just such a lengthy title. And I'm gonna keep watching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching.
Somebody just asked me the same thing. They said, "Well, ask me what I thought about it," and I said, "I don't know what story they're trying to tell."
Yeah, I'm gonna keep watching.
I'm gonna keep watching.
I'm gonna keep watching.
Give it a shot.
I did quite enjoy his Sailor Moon moment. When he got put in the suit for the first time.
Okay, yeah.
It was and it's actually funny.
I hadn't thought about it from that perspective, but yeah.
IGN actually did a side-by-side of Sailor Moon and Clark being put in his super suit for the first time. Oh, that video just...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because when I first saw the suit, I'm like, bro, this is super... Like, it's Sailor Moon.
I had thought about that.
It's a very Sailor Moon-esque...
Yeah. It is
transformation into a suit.
Really
I'm not mad at it. Do your thing, bro.
Yeah,
but that was it was a funny touch.
Yeah, that was funny.
Also, the thing that I enjoyed too, and it's like such a random thing to enjoy, but the fact that Jarrell didn't speak English.
That was good. That was a good
because
touch.
I'm like, if you think about it,
yeah,
they don't. How do we know that they spoke English on Krypton?
Yeah, that was a good touch. Too.
And the fact that Superman couldn't directly understand him because he was raised on Earth. Raised to speak the language
of Earth,
of where he was raised. So he spoke English.
Yes.
So the fact that Jarrell was speaking to him and he was like, Bro, what are you saying?
Yeah, he's like,
I thought that was a nice touch as well.
That was a good touch.
But yeah, other than that, you know,
I'm gonna give it.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
See where they're going with
There's
this.
some things that I wasn't crazy about. It's the style of the animation. I'm not really crazy about, but
Okay.
again, I can get past that.
Yeah.
I can get past that. I'm just interested really in the story. I'm trying to figure out, okay, where are you going? Where are you going with this?
Right.
You know, where are you going with this?
I'm also glad that they kind of brought back one of the classic Superman lines, because a lot of people were
okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
a lot of people were like upset because they were like, bro, this is Superman, not the Flash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but if you remember from the OG Superman, one of his things were faster than a speeding bullet. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of been showing off his speed a whole lot.
Yeah.
And this, and I'm like, okay, like, give me everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's cool, you know, he can fly and he has super strength and, you know, the laser visions, that's cool, but they don't really show the super speed too much anymore. So I'm glad that, you know, they've gone back to that and he's actually super speed again, you know, like I'm appreciative of that. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I just remember because I just recently watched the last episode we did again, and I just remembered that we said we were gonna, you know, watch that and then come back and talk about it. And I was like, oh, cool, that's great that I honestly just watched this yesterday. Yeah. So it's cool that, you know, we've actually watched it.
And I kind of like just gave it a rewatch. So again, like I said, I'm not hating it.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
You know, I'm not hating. I'm definitely not hating on it because I rewatched it.
Right.
Because I'm interested, kind of like intrigued to see where they're going.
Yeah.
Well, you know, where they're going with the story.
So, but yeah, that was that. And honestly, I might have no other choice other than to actually watch this show, because one of the things we were going to talk about today is the actor strike.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Which is looming on the horizon.
Yep.
The actors, if they don't reach a deal by tomorrow, the actors will be, I think, SAG-AFTRA. AFTRA. They will also be going on strike, right along with the WGA.
Wow.
For the exact same thing. What's the word I'm looking for? Residual checks for like just an increase in the residual checks, and like they're not being paid enough, which is something crazy when you think that actors aren't paid enough. But one of the actors from the hit show P-Valley actually, in the loom of this actor strike, and people thinking, well, they're actors, they get paid millions of dollars. She showed her last 3 residual checks from the show P-Valley. She actually showed. She said, "Oh, you think we're getting paid? Cool. Let me show you exactly how much bank I'm making." She showed the check. The one check was like $4.
Are you kidding me?
No, not at all. The one check was like $4. One check was like $1 and some change, and another check was like 33 cents.
Wow.
Residual checks.
Wow.
From this hit show.
Yeah, from a hit show
that has made stars millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But you're getting like not even lunch money.
Wow.
As a residual for that.
You can't even go out and buy some candy.
At all.
You can't go to the store and buy candy with that money.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's like, bro, the writer's strike in and of itself is bad enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like, fam, the writer's going on strike, that's bad enough because a lot is shut down.
Yeah.
But there are still things that are still working and in motion. The actors go on strike. Nothing
is getting done.
Nothing at all is getting done.
Nothing is getting done.
And it'll be like the first time in 63 years.
Yeah.
That both the actors and the writers were on strike at the same time.
And here's the thing. If they go on strike, however long the strike goes on, it affects everything.
Everything.
It affects everything. So that means everything is going to be pushed back. Everything is so if you're not a fan of reruns, you better get used to it, because that's what we're going to be getting.
Or you better hope that everyone comes to a deal like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Literally, you better hope everyone comes to a deal tomorrow.
And you know what? And in the scheme of things, you might look and say, well, it's really not that important. But yeah, it kind of is important.
It kind of is.
It kind of is.
I was reading a New York Times article this morning. LA is set to lose $2.1 billion if the actors go on strike.
Wow. So, yeah, that's
$2.1 billion they're going to lose if the actors go on strike.
So it kind of is important.
It's very important.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Bro, pay people.
It's like any other major industry if they just shut down, went on strike. Airports, air traffic controllers, they go on strike, nobody's flying.
Nobody's flying at all.
Nobody. You're not flying unless you got wings. You are not flying. And so it shuts down, and that affects and that doesn't just affect the airlines itself. It affects the airlines. It affects the people who are traveling. It affects things being moved from one area to another area.
Everything.
It affects everything.
Not just like you said, not just your travel, but the travel of like your order, that package you're waiting for that's supposed to be overnighted to you. Air traffic controllers go on strike. Guess what? You're not getting that overnight package.
So even this has an effect on everything.
Exactly, because like I know I'm tired of reruns and just not having new things to watch. Well, not me personally, because I have a backlog of things
that
I now have the time to catch up on.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that, and there are still certain things that were done already that is still set to come out, which is a benefit.
Yeah. Now again, because if it's already in the can, good. But for all the stuff that's being worked on, all the stuff that's currently in production, all the stuff that's currently being filmed,
even if it's in the can, it still has an effect. Here's why. You have a movie coming out in September. What do you generally do before the movie comes out? You go on a press run. If the actors are on strike, there's no press run.
There's no press run. Nope.
So other than you dropping the trailer and hoping people watch TV to see it, that's not happening. Like if Chris Pine is in a movie coming out in September, you usually have his fans watching his press run. So they're watching, they're bringing that audience there, and then the people are like, oh, I'm going to go see the movie. And then it's just somebody who watched the show was like, oh, I didn't know Chris Pine had a movie coming out. I'm going to go see it. But if you don't know that,
that's right.
Then guess what you don't have?
That's right.
So now the movies that are even on the way out will be affected by this strike because there's no press run.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
There's no press run, so that it won't be as big. It won't be as advertised. You won't have the big red carpet events that everybody's looking forward to because nobody's going to that in support of the actors' strike. So then guess what? All of these movies that might have been big box office smash, they'll recoup their money at best, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yep. So all of this stuff can possibly be affected by an actor's strike. So it's kind of a big thing. So you know what the only thing you're gonna have to watch is reruns and the news.
And the news.
That's it. That is it. So.
And let me tell you, as someone who works in the news. It's not much going on over there either.
Nah.
There's not much going on over there either.
Oh goodness. So, with all of that, So again, it's going to have a big effect. So the question is, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? What are you going to watch? let's just say hypothetically, they do not come to an agreement, and that the actors' strike does happen, and everything is shut down, and everything is pushed back, and everything is set off. All the schedules are going to be screwed up. So all the stuff that you might have been waiting for to come out in September may not be coming out until November. If
you're lucky.
If the strike is resolved quickly, because the longer they strike, the more stuff is going to get pushed back. Mm-hmm. So what are you going to watch? What are you going to do? What are you going to watch? I don't know. What are you
other than us?
Yeah. We'll come on. We'll tell you what
we'll tell you what we're watching. And we're talking about stuff.
Yeah.
So just stay with us.
Stay with us. Yeah.
Stay with us,
because we will have content.
We will definitely still be recording, and we will still be an option for you. Because we are not a part of either.
And we're going to try and help you guys through this process,
and what might be a really dark time for television.
Yes. This might be worse than the COVID lockdown.
Yes. Well, not worse, but
just as bad.
Just as bad, because let's be grateful that this isn't happening during that time.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Let's just be grateful that this isn't happening during that time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So, but we're going to start off with, honestly, this weekend, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Is coming out. I forget which name it is because it stopped being numbered after 3. What's the name for this one?
I can't remember. Oh gosh, I know. Because I just recently found out that this is part 1. That's the only thing I can. That's the only thing I can remember off. Whatever it is part. It's part 1. Let me look it up. Go ahead.
Yes. But that is coming out. I am a big fan of the Mission Impossible series.
Me too.
I have seen, crazy enough, right? I've seen from 3 on. I still have to go back and watch the first 2 Mission Impossibles because I've yet to see them. It's wild, I know, but I've seen from 3 on.
Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Reckoning,
Part 1.
That's coming out. Of course, Tom Cruise is back.
Yes.
As is the gang. The gang's all here.
The gang's all here.
The gang's all here.
Okay. All right.
Coming back, that includes Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, couple other names that I am forgetting, but that is coming out this weekend, and I gotta go see that and see it quick because next weekend is Barbenheimer. And I haven't figured out logistically how yet. But I am going to see both of those movies next weekend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're going to go see both of them?
I have to see both of them.
You're not going to go see... You're going to go see them both the same weekend?
The same weekend.
Okay.
I got to go see them both.
Yeah. I'm going to go see them both, but I may go see them... Well, Mission Impossible is this weekend.
Mission Impossible is this weekend.
I will probably go see it between now and the release of... You're talking about Barbie, am I right?
Well, yeah, Barbenheimer, because on July 21st, both Barbie and Oppenheimer come out on the same day.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you want to see both of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I want to see both.
Okay. I got it now.
I want to see both of those.
And at first, when I saw the trailer for Oppenheimer, Barbie, kind of had me sold. But when I first saw the trailer for Oppenheimer, I was like, do I really want to see that? But then I'm looking as I'm looking at the trailer over and over again, and I'm looking at the actors and the director who's connected to it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, this might be a pretty good movie.
You wanna know what's crazy?
Yeah,
it was the reverse for me.
Really?
From the very first time I saw the Oppenheimer trailer, I said I need to see this movie.
Wow.
I need to see this movie.
Definitely not my...
Barbie was coming out, and I was like, if I get to it, I get to it.
Yeah.
But honestly, for me, it was the combined press run that both of these movies are have done because they're coming out on the same day. and it's just too like. There are literal Barbenheimer posters.
Really? Are you
Yes.
kidding? Are you kidding me?
That's why it's called Barbenheimer. Like there are literally posters.
See, I thought that was your thing.
No, that is a thing
That is
now.
a thing.
That's a thing now.
Oh God. Okay.
And like it's a hashtag. There are posters now of both of these movies joined together, and like the press run is like, okay, now I need to see Barbie because for whatever reason I feel like it's attached to Oppenheimer.
Okay.
Though they're two completely separate movies, have nothing to do with one has nothing to do with the other. But the press run is like they did such a wonderful job with this press run. I need to see both of these movies.
Okay.
I don't think that was screwed on right.
No,
It was not.
It was not.
Apologies, good
No
sir.
problem. No problem.
But this cup wasn't screwed on right, guys. He doesn't have a hole in his mouth. That's not what's happening there.
I got a hole in my lip.
That's not what was happening there. But yes, so that will be out. I do recommend you go see all three of these movies. Both Mission Impossible, Barbie, and Oppenheimer.
The summer has officially started.
Yes.
The summer blockbusters have officially
Yes.
started. I want to see Barbie. You know, again, I am a Margot Robbie fan. I am just a big fan of hers. So that in and of itself is, and then with all the little cameos of other people that they have in the movie, I'm like, okay. And even up until last night, I ran across a trailer. The latest trailer is of Ryan Gosling singing a song from the movie called "I Am Ken."
Yes.
And I was like, all right, okay. I got to go see this now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also out that just hit video on demand today. Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Oh, get out!
It is available for purchase and rent right now on demand. You can watch that. I haven't seen it yet. I was gonna try to go to the movies to see it, but it's video on demand. I don't have to leave my house. What? That was the best part about COVID is not having to leave my house to see movies. Yeah, man. Don't get me wrong. I love going to see movies in theaters, but just, not having to leave my house to do it, I'll take that option any day of the week. Any day of the week. So that is also available.
Speaking of which, Flash is soon.
Yes, that will soon be available as well. Video on demand, so you can watch The Flash.
Yeah.
Insidious, I believe, is also out. They made another one.
Yeah,
it's out in theaters.
Supposed to be the final.
Sure. I will believe that when it doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
That is also out for horror movie fans. I saw a trailer for The Nun 2.
Okay. I just recently watched that in its entirety. I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I just recently watched that the whole thing. Up until that point, I had not watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. So I'm like, 2?
I went to go see it because it's a part of the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, because of
I'm a big fan of those movies.
Yes.
Even though the last one was just not great at all.
No, the last one wasn't as
it wasn't as good. And if we're being honest, when it comes to just movies that stuck with me, with the Conjuring series, though I love the series and I've watched the series and all of its spin-offs, since the first one, they've all kind of just been,
Yeah. Yeah, the first one was the best one.
The first one was crazy.
That was insane.
All my closets were closed forever. Yeah. All of them.
And it reiterated my fear of basements.
Yes, and it was just like, please don't ever clap. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. But yeah, they're making a Nun 2. That's a thing. I thought she died in the first one, but I guess with demons and spirits, I guess you can't really stay dead.
Yeah.
Because I guess you're not dead. You're not technically not alive. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, the stories, they find loose stories. There's been like 13 Jasons and like 75 Michael Myers movies and like 85
And
Friday the 13th.
speaking of which, I just read someplace recently they're doing another reboot, or they're talking about doing another reboot of. Yeah, no, that's what I said of Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm like,
Well, the Chucky TV series is doing well.
is it really?
I mean, it's got multiple seasons.
Yeah.
So
I haven't watched it.
It's
No.
got to found.
Yeah,
It has to have found
audience.
an audience.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Nah, definitely not me.
But, you know,
I
'cause
think I watched an episode or two, but
I just think because out of all of the horror movie villains, right? Like the horror movie characters, Chucky makes the least sense. He's a doll.
okay. Yeah.
He's a doll.
Yeah. I could, yeah. Okay.
Like there was the one scene where he's fighting the white girl in the room, and she's in a room with a fireplace that's lit. Sis, your answer is right there. It is right there. If you don't just chuck him into that fire.
Yeah. Toss him.
I never understood
He
it.
will burn.
You know, him or Megan. He actually, I did a on the pod's Instagram. I did a kind of like a tournament, best of tournament to see what the people thought
Who won that?
was the best villain.
Yeah. Who won that?
Freddy.
Really?
Freddy won. Yeah. It came down to
Who was two?
who's two? Michael.
Really?
Michael.
Okay.
Michael. Freddy versus Michael. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Listen, it was some surprises in there, man. Like, I definitely thought Jigsaw was going to do a lot better than he did
Yeah.
in that tournament. I thought Jason was going to do way better than he did.
Wow.
Like, Jason, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jason didn't make it past the first round.
Wow. Oh heck.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember who he went against, but it was like, whoa. I just,
Yeah.
I expected people to, do
Classic.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was fun. But, what's the name made it to the semifinals, which was weird.
And I don't really want to speak this out into the universe, but have they ever done a reboot of the Friday the 13th series?
No.
No.
Nothing since Freddy versus Jason.
No, and that really even wasn't. That was a whole separate movie, but they've never done a.
Yeah, they didn't try to like go back and
reinvent the whole thing. Okay.
Now the closest he got to a reboot was the video game,
Okay. All right.
which I kind of want to play.
All right. Yeah.
But back to what you could be watching.
Yeah.
Back to what you could be watching. What else could be watching? Oh, when it comes to TV shows, right?
Yeah.
Here are a few suggestions that I'm currently watching. I'm get to catch up on. Human Resources, which is a spinoff of the hit series Big Mouth. They just dropped their second season on Netflix, and I have been catching up on that. It's a short run. If you're a fan of Big Mouth,
Yeah, you'll like.
then you will like Human
Human
Resources.
Resources. I have not watched it yet. It's on I got like a list of stuff that I want to catch up on.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I want to watch.
Because it's just the dynamics of things and how things work, and it's a cool way to just think about and deal with like human emotions.
Okay. All right.
Because it's like so you haven't watched it like at all, or you just haven't watched the season.
I have not watched it.
Oh, you haven't watched it at all.
At all.
So they it's of course the hormone monsters.
Yeah.
From Big Mouth.
Yeah.
And the Shame Wizards. It's Human Resources is the place where all of these people work. There's hormone monsters. There is the Shame Wizards.
Wizard.
There's the what's the mosquitoes that they were afraid of? That that was just scared of everything.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember the character. I can't remember what they called them.
Yeah. There's them, but they've also added new creatures in the show. There's Logic Rocks, and they're just all logic all the time. There's Love Bugs, and there's also Hate Worms.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's they don't really deal too much with you. Like you don't really see them too much dealing with humans. It's more like they're just everyday interactions with each other. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even though what's the name does make an appearance. Who's the kid? Morty's kid.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, but like the main
one,
main one who's always like
yeah,
him. He does make an appearance in the first season, but it's like an episode and he's there. But yeah, I think it's quite entertaining.
Okay,
It's quite entertaining.
Again, it's definitely on my list.
Yeah,
and it'll be one of the things that I might go back and watch. For me, again, that's just a suggestion. It's getting ready to wrap up. I think this Wednesday is the final episodes, the Blacklist. So you may want to, if you've been missing the Blacklist for the past couple of seasons, and I can understand why, because it kind of lost its luster. But again, this might be a good time to go back and revisit it and bring you up to date for the final the final season. The final season has been incredible.
Okay.
The final season. So So even if you
if you're like me and you've never watched it, there's like there's a good amount of seasons. Yes.
Yep.
So that'll give you a good chance if you're looking for something because
to watch.
you have enough of it to watch.
Yep. And again, the final episodes of this Wednesday. This Wednesday, it's a double 2-hour season. 2-hour series finale. Yeah. So again, I'm very interested to see how this is all going to end. You know, because again, I have been following it from day one, even in the seasons that were not as good, but trust me, they're making up for it in this final season. They are definitely making up for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But for me, staying with Netflix, right? The Witcher season 3. That has also dropped recently, and I started watching that. I watched the first 2 episodes of that. It's good. Okay. It's the final season with Henry Cavill in the role before Liam Hemsworth takes over.
Oh, really, Liam?
Yeah.
Oh, they've already got him for the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't look impressed.
I'm not. Kind of annoyed.
Poor Henry Cavill. He just
not for real. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, he kind of he like Superman was just kind of this thing for him, and I think that's why he kind of just No, it was kind of like it was a bit of creative differences, and he was unsure. He kind of like put all his chips in Superman, even though that didn't pan out, and I was just like cool, but it's Liam Hemsworth is no Henry Cavill.
No.
It's no Henry Cavill.
No.
He's no Henry Cavill.
No.
So I'm just not looking forward to. I'm gonna watch it, of course.
Yeah.
Just not looking forward to it.
Okay. Witcher is one of those series that I didn't watch or was not interested. I know. I take that back. I tried to watch the first season, and I got maybe halfway through it, and I was like, oh God, this is just not. It was not interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, it was the same for me. When I first watched it, I was like, what is this nonsense?
Yeah.
But then I had like a downtime where I had nothing to watch and I had caught up on everything. So I said, I'm going to give it a chance. And I'm going to watch it again. And I watched it again. And it wasn't until like the 6th episode I realized that they weren't telling a linear story. In the first season.
Okay. And maybe that was what was throwing me too, is the fact that the story just did not seem linear.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I was like, what is this about? What am I watching? What am I watching? What am I watching? And then it just got to the point where I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, they did a lot of time jumping in the first season.
Yeah.
That they just didn't tell you. It was just, But 2 and 3 seem to have been linear after that.
Okay. Maybe I'll go back and revisit.
But yeah, season 3 is out and it's good. Henry Cavill, it's his last season as the titular Geralt of Rivia. So it is a good show if you're into that kind of thing. If you're a fan of the game, I'd say give it a shot. If you're a fan of like magic and fighting and things like that, I would say give it a watch because it's got all of that.
Okay.
I mean, there's always House of the Dragon.
Yep. Go back and rewatch. Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to open that can of worms because I started saying go back and rewatch Game of Thrones.
I'm actually doing that with my dad.
Are you really?
We are rewatching Game of Thrones.
See? Okay, good. So I wasn't off base.
No.
No. So
Not sure how far we're gonna get.
but you know what? You'll watch it differently because here's the thing: because you already know what parts are going to be good and what parts, you can kind of like, all right, I'm not going to watch that episode. Since I already know what's going to happen, I can just skip over to the next episode. So you'll kind of watch it a little differently. Me myself, I said I'm going to, whether there are two series that I really wanted that were big that I really enjoyed that I probably will go back and rewatch, and they also had quite a few seasons. One is True Blood. I'm a big vampire movie.
I hated the way that ended.
I hated the ending. I loved
the show.
Loved the show.
Loved the show.
Hated the way they ended.
Despised the way they ended that show.
And I think that again they did the same. They did with that ending the same thing they did with kind of like what they did with Game of Thrones. It was just like we got to figure out a way to end this. And when you do that, when you do stuff like that, the endings are never good.
Because you know how many different other ways,
better
ways they could have ended Game of Thrones?
Yes.
The literal name of the show is Game of Thrones.
Yes.
You have a plethora of people vying for the throne, all with legitimate claims to the throne.
Mm-hmm.
You give it to Bran,
Yeah.
the broken. You give it to the character who has done the least amount in this show.
He got the throne. I was like,
you give it to him?
Yeah. But remember, by this point, I think they were just all tired, shell-shocked.
Well, no, at that point, because what's the name himself hasn't finished writing the book.
Yeah, and he hadn't finished writing the books, so it was like...
So it was kind of just left up to their own interpretation. Bro, please. Like, are you kidding me?
They could have did better than that, though.
We deserve better.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, as far as I'm concerned, Sansa's king. Like, Sansa got the throne just because she's queen of the north.
Yeah. That's who I thought. That's who I wanted to get the throne.
Yeah, who I wanted to get the throne didn't get it. It's fine, though.
It's okay.
It's cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
So I said I'll go back.
I wasn't mad at how he died either because he went out by a real one.
Okay.
Because, I've said this before. I was Team White Walker.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And,
I said I would go back and rewatch True Blood again because, it was such a great show.
Mm-hmm.
Great scenes. They had so many good scenes in that show. It got a little goofy in certain parts. And but one of the good things about it is like if something did not work in True Blood, they quickly resolved it and moved on to something else. They did not.
This isn't.
They're like, oh, this ain't working. This is not working. Like the shapeshifter thing at one point they were doing like shapeshifters, and that's for some reason or another that storyline just was not resonating. They resolved it and moved on. It's the thing with her being a fairy or something like that just was not working. Again, they resolved it and they moved on. Went back to, and they would bring it back to.
No sense.
Yeah, it's like,
why are you bringing fairies? Like, what?
Yeah,
this ain't Supernatural.
Yeah,
that's a show I'll watch again.
See,
that's a show I will watch.
I will go back
again.
I will go back and rewatch. I would go back and rewatch Supernatural. I would go back and again True Blood, and the other one I'm planning on going back and revisiting. And this is just me, but if you care to join me, please do. Nip Tuck.
Okay.
That was a show that was on Fox. What was it? Fox?
No, FX.
No, FX. Yeah, FX.
FX.
And it was in the heyday or in the earlier days of FX. But it was
that's when FX had that heat.
Yeah.
Not saying they don't now.
Yeah.
But they were first.
They were, yeah.
Like they were like FX.
Yeah.
FX was the first channel to give you HBO quality content on like regular TV without needing like a subscription to a cable. Like FX was like they were that first one because what's the show I used to watch that came on FX? It came on like right after Nip Tuck. Why can I think of the name of that show? It was with Courtney Cox.
Oh,
She was like
okay. What was she?
she was like
I know the show.
It was like she was paparazzi or something like that.
Dirt.
What a show!
That show.
I'm so mad that show got canceled.
I was pissed.
Mad that show got canceled.
To this day, I still have that show in my head.
Yes,
in my head. That was such a good show.
Because like Dirt, Nip Tuck.
Oh,
that was honestly that paved the way for FX television.
Nip Tuck, and actually Nip Tuck was where the first time we saw what's his name, who went to Game of Thrones, who after Nip Tuck he kind of like blew up.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that was where you first met Peter Dinklage, or you finally, that was like his really coming out role.
Yeah.
But that was such a good story, and I one of the things that fascinated me about the whole thing, because it dealt with plastic surgery, and one of the things they would always ask the person as soon as they come in, they would come in and do a consult with them. They look at them and say, "Well, what is it you don't like about yourself?" And I was like, wow, that is such to me that was such a great opening line.
It is,
because it's like
that's such a heavy question.
Yeah, that's a heavy question. That's a heavy question. I was like, wow, because you think about somebody going into plastic surgery.
Yeah, just clearly because there is something
that they don't like about themselves.
Listen, be like, what don't I like about myself? How much time you got?
Yeah.
How much time you got? You want to get into it? You want to get like?
And then the show would go from there, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a great show.
Absolutely.
Great show. Great characters, great storylines, kind of far-fetched, some of them, but just interesting. It was the whole thing for me was interesting. So I said, I'll go back and I'll revisit that.
And since we're talking about FX shows, great FX shows, if you're looking in the market for something to watch and you've lived under a rock and you didn't watch either of these shows, Sons of Anarchy.
Yes. See, again, I didn't see the whole Sons of bits and pieces of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Sons of Anarchy.
And I wanted to.
It's one of the few series that I've watched the entire thing from beginning to end multiple times.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
It's one of the, like, I don't do that often, but it's one of those series that, like, I watch it, like, every time I'm, like, looking for something to watch, and I'm just like, yeah, I might just revisit this whole thing because it's just that good. And the spinoff show Mayans is good. It's wrapping up its final season currently on television, which is crazy because Sons of Anarchy, I think, was a lot longer. I want to say Sons had like 13, 14 seasons, and this one is wrapping up at like 4. But it is indeed a both shows are really cool, and it's a dope show, right? But it kind of like, it makes you sad a little bit because it's like, I love Sons of Anarchy, the show, but like the motorcycle club, I wouldn't be able to get in.
Why?
I'm black.
Oh, okay.
Same thing for the Mayans. Like, I love the show,
but you couldn't.
But the motorcycle club,
you couldn't be.
I couldn't get into, and they did have a black motorcycle club in Sons of Anarchy. They were like a bunch of pansies and like didn't really do much and didn't really have much. Like, they were not as cool as this. Like, and I guess that's by design because you don't like, but they just weren't as cool as
the Sons of Anarchy.
The Sons of Anarchy. Even like the motorcycles they rode, I was like, bro, I don't want to be riding on that. No. They had like old retiree motorcycles, like the real big one. Like, who is trying to ride on that? Like, what are we doing here? No, I'm good. I'm good. But Sons of Anarchy and Mayans are both very good, high quality content shows. And I think those are recommendations too.
Yeah.
Because the episode where they went to Ireland, or the season, they went to Ireland. They went like a whole season because the main character, he had a kid, and somebody from like his past who like knew his dad because his dad was in the motorcycle gang, but his dad was kind of like trying to change. He saw the direction that the club was heading in, and he was trying to change it.
Okay.
But he died before that happened. But they stole his kid, and he found out in the last season that they took his kid to Ireland. So there was like a whole season of him in Ireland trying to get his kids back. That was an incredible season.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm like 1/8 Irish, so I was,
Okay.
it was,
So that's why you like it.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. And they even they put like an Irish twist on the intro of the theme music for that season.
Me?
No.
Are you kidding me?
They put like an Irish twist on the theme music for that season. I was having a good time.
I got it.
But, yeah.
Now that you mentioned that, that will probably be what I will, because I have not watched that at all. Mm-hmm. It would if they go on the writer's strike, or if they I mean the writer's strike, or if they go on the actor strike, and so I know things are definitely going to be delayed after that. That'll definitely be at the top of the list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot. Again, because when it was on, I wanted to watch it, but I think I was involved with something else at the time, so I just never gave it a watch. Right.
I good. Also, there's a TV show. It's called Suits.
Yeah. That was another one. I kind of wanted. I wanted to watch. Was that the one about the advertising?
No, that's what's that show? Oh, what's the show about the advertising? Mad Men.
Mad Men.
Mad Men is about the advertising, which is also a really good show as well.
Yeah.
It's also a really good show as well.
Yeah. Again, I remember it's Mad Men and Suits. Yeah, those were two shows that I wanted to watch.
But Suits is about this. It's about a corporate law firm, and they hire this one lawyer. He's like super the coolest, dopest, best corporate lawyer in all of New York City, and his law firm is hiring, and then he meets this kid who's there. He meets this kid, and he's interviewing the kid, and the kid's really smart, knows a whole lot about law. Only difference is he doesn't have a law degree.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but what he has is it's eidetic memory. So he remembers the law, and what the kid's been doing is he's been taking the bar for people. He's been taking the bar exam for people, and the people have been and like getting people their license, their law license. He gets caught, and then he gets banned from being ever able to take the bar himself. So, but because of his knowledge, he is a really essentially because he knows so much about law, he is a great lawyer. So this lawyer, who is an actual lawyer, hires him for his company and forges his documents.
Yes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah.
They forged his documents so he could work for the company, and then they start like working together.
It's not legal, but I could see that.
Yeah. It's an incredible show because like especially once people start sniffing around, and he starts to have to like fight for his life and whatever. Yeah, it's really good. It's the last show Meghan Markle did before she started dating Prince Harry.
Oh, that's right. She was in Suits.
Yeah, she was in Suits in the beginning.
That's right. She was
in Suits. Because what's the name played her dad?
That was kind of like her claim to fame.
Yeah.
Suits.
Yeah, because I was kind of upset too. Because I was like, oh, Meghan Markle is fine. And then I was like, let me go follow her on Instagram and see if she's in anything else. And then I was like, why does she have no social media presence? And then like a week after me trying to find her on social media, I saw the article. I was like, oh, she's dating a royal. That's why she has no social media presence, because they can't do that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then she left the show, and I was like, oh, great. Because then he left too, and it just was sad after that. Quality definitely dipped a little once
when she left.
Yeah, because she left, and she plays the love interest of the kid who's forged his, and they end up like married, and then when she leaves the show, he leaves the show with her because they're married. Mm-hmm. So as a married couple, they like move to California, so they're no longer in the show.
So what? How does the show shift? The show shifts after that, I guess.
Yes,
because now he's gone.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So it shifts, and it took a while for the show to get on to rebound, but they do rebound.
Oh, okay.
They definitely do rebound because the focus becomes less about him. Like there's a B character, and I love him. His name's Louis Litt on the show. He's like a B character on the show. He becomes the A
character.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like we get more in depth with like him and his life.
Okay.
And you find out just exactly like you already know he's a great lawyer, but then you start to love him like as a person outside of being because he's like an annoying person. Like he's really annoying, but you do grow to love him because of the show and like how they rebound after losing those two characters.
Okay, so you have just named about 4 shows that I will probably start revisiting. You know, if everything, if
things fall through
today.
Yeah.
Yeah, if things fall through, these are. So again, there's a lot of content out there to watch.
Right, because that's just a few things we named.
Yeah, that's just a few things. There's a lot of content out there. Reruns. Well, not reruns, but you can go back. Now it's good. This is that time where you can go back and sit down and watch your favorite show. So again, in the comment section, we have a comment section.
Yes.
In the comment section, if you're watching this, and we hope you are, put down in the comment sections what you're going to rewatch if things fall through, or what would be your go-to show that you might sit back and now I can go back and I can rewatch blah whatever the show may be, whatever that show
because
may
let's be honest, there's also, I mean, who doesn't want to sit and rewatch all The Office? Like that's also an option. I'm gonna because I love that show.
That's another show never watched. I think maybe I've seen 1 or 2 episodes, out of the whole time it's been on, but I never watched the whole thing.
Beginning to end, I've seen The Office 5 times.
Really? Wow.
5 times.
Wow. And everybody talks about how funny it is, and the acting and the characters. I just never watched it.
Yeah, because like it's crazy. Like the first time I watched it. This was back when it was on Netflix, and I watched it all the way, and I got to the last season, and I was sitting there, and the last couple of episodes were just like super emotional, because last season, last couple episodes, they like really poured their heart outs into like these episodes, and then I'm sitting there like getting super emotional. Because, after watching like 12 seasons, like however many seasons with these characters, you get attached. And they're like, it's really about to be over. And then I'm sitting there getting emotional. And then when the last episode aired and then the credits rolled, you know how Netflix does like the 10 seconds and then it plays the next episode? The next episode, it started over from the beginning. I literally just sat there and started over.
Wow, I watched it.
Literally just sat there and started over. I was like, all right, cool. We started from the beginning. Let's do it.
Yeah. How many seasons did that last? That had a good run.
Oh, wow.
That had a good run.
Yeah. So like every year at Christmas, I watch all of the Christmas episodes.
Really?
Yes.
That's what I do with Family Guy.
Yes. Because there was, I forget the Instagram page, but I have it saved on Instagram. It broke down, I think it was like 5 or 6 different shows that had like lengthy seasons. And it broke down all of their Christmas episodes.
Okay.
And because it was like Friends was on there. I want to say that 70s show was on there. The Office. And I want to say like 2 other shows. It just gave you all the list of their Christmas episodes. So every year I just go, okay, we're going to go watch that one. And then we're going to watch that one. And then just go through and watch all the Christmas episodes.
Yeah. That's what I did. Like I said, with Family Guy, when they started doing Christmas episodes, I have them all saved somewhere, and I usually go back and during the holidays I'll sit down one night and just watch all the Christmas episodes of Family Guy.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Especially the one where Brian and Stewie go to the North Pole to kill Santa Claus.
That is my favorite. That one is
Yes.
my favorite. The one where they actually go to the
The
North Pole
to kill Santa Claus?
to kill Santa Claus.
Let's do it. And if we're being honest, right? If you want to watch something, and maybe most people won't do this because I don't know. The fan base for these shows that I'm about to mention seems to have just diminished and grown smaller over the years. Mm-hmm. But let's be honest, bro. You could watch The Simpsons starting from the beginning, and you will be watching TV until next year. And still not caught up to the current episodes of The Simpsons.
Yeah. You could do that with The Simpsons. You could do that with South Park.
You could do that South Park.
South Park. Again, yeah.
Like, you could do that, honestly, with Family Guy. Family Guy's not as long, but it's been around for a long time.
I mean, and when we say that, we say, I mean, go back to the first episode. The first episode and watch it all the way. And watch it. Yeah, you just watching that in and of itself, you would be,
And speaking of, did you know Daryl Coley was on an episode of The Simpsons?
Yes. He played,
he sang the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, God. That's a voice I know it in my sleep because I was a big fan of his.
Yes.
But when they aired that particular episode of The Simpsons and he started singing, I was like, that's Daryl Coley. I said, that's Daryl Coley. And I watched the whole episode, and when they ran the credits at the end, I saw I knew it, yeah.
Now, mind you, that scene had me dying.
Cracking up. Yeah.
That's it. Because when he said, "Oh, say can you?" I'm asking. I said, "No, he not." I said, "No, he not."
Oh,
I'm like, bro, how did he get away with this? How did the Christian community not come for him?
Oh man, that was so funny.
I said, but thank you for that episode, Daryl Coley. Just thank you
for that.
Because that is.
Classic Simpsons.
Classic Simpsons.
But
and then South Park. I mean, come on, South Park's been South Park since the beginning of the time. Like,
again, you can go back and watch it from episode 1 through.
Yes, I still watch it.
Current.
The other day, I was scrolling through TikTok, and they showed clips for Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I look forward to that. Every time, like, I went through all the clips that I could find and was cracking up hysterically because that movie had no rhyme, reason, or right.
None.
To be as funny
as it was. I will sit there and laugh through that whole. I don't care how many times I watch it.
No.
I don't care how many times I watch it.
As a matter of fact, I was upset because Comedy Central didn't have it on last year.
Yeah.
Didn't have it on for New Year's.
Oh, they always show it on New Year's Eve?
Ever since that movie came out, they've showed it on New Year's.
Really?
Like a marathon of it.
Really?
Yes. And they didn't last year. And I was upset because I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do? But it's fine because they've got to deal with Paramount Plus. So it's over there.
So you were able to watch it there.
I was able to watch it. But, man. And then the pandemic episodes.
Yes. Classic.
Like, I just love their take on... just honestly the stupidity and
of the whole thing
of the world. Like, it's incredible. You gotta have, a bit thick skin.
You can't watch South Park without a
very thick skin.
And every time, and I think we talked about this before, I said every time I think that they've run out of stuff, they prove me wrong.
Because the world keeps giving them material to use. Like, because you want to kill South Park? Stop giving them so much material to use. Because I feel like, you know how we say, like, you could always watch the news. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what they watch.
Oh, yeah.
To get the ideas of what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yep. They watch the news and then they South Park it. Yeah.
Because I might have to start watching again because I just know there's going to be an episode about cocaine in the White House.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
I just know there's going to be an episode about cocaine in the White House.
And whereas we may never find out whose it was, they're going to tell you who it was.
Right.
they're going to tell you exactly who it belonged to and how it got there.
This is completely unrelated, but I mean, it is we're talking about since the cocaine in the White House. I did see a tweet that kind of had me funny, that had me laughing. Excuse me, but it was like there was cocaine in the White House, and somebody retweeted and they said, "How you gonna get mad at cocaine in the White House? Y'all just said y'all calling the man Sleepy Joe. What y'all can't get mad when he do something about it."
It's like,
but like, do you want him to be Sleepy Joe? Or do you want him to be alert?
Exactly.
That's what'll do it.
And the thing about it, and my thing about the whole thing is that, you know what, really? So you think this is the first time there was cocaine in the White House?
Hello. You know how many parties they done had in that White House?
Are you kidding me?
I'm like, how y'all know y'all just didn't do a good cleaning job after they stormed the White House?
I'm like,
Could have been a January 6th thing. Or this could have just been from the last Biden party. Like, was it out a party at the White House? It may not have been a party.
It might not have been a party.
It takes a lot of strength, courage, guts, moxie, cocaine, liquor, cigarettes, heroin, and Xanax, to just run the country. Like, to run the country.
They're doing all-nighters. You gotta do something. You gotta have something.
You gotta do something to get through that.
You can't just wake up and these aren't young people.
No, they're not. These are not young people.
These are not young people. They need.
So I'm just saying that's probably real good cocaine.
Yeah,
because they old, so they old school with it, so they know with it.
They know with it,
and they get it from the source.
What?
They get it from the source.
They getting the good stuff.
Good stuff.
And that's probably why it wasn't that much of it.
Right.
Because they didn't need a whole lot.
You don't need no whole lot. You take a whole lot, you're not going to wake up.
Nope.
You're going to be done.
You are done. Then they would have known who was doing it.
But absolutely, it's something to watch on television.
But we're talking about it from the perspective of, we do not want to see these strikes happen because of the fact that they will delay all the newer stuff. But again, if it should happen, it's not like we're going to run out of stuff to watch.
No, because there are still things coming out.
And that's because there's stuff that's already been done, and is getting ready, is already on the runway to be released.
Speaking of, as an example, July 27th, Twisted Metal. It's a series coming out on Peacock. It's starring Anthony Mackie.
It's based on a game. Is that a game?
Yes, it's based off the video game.
Video game. Okay.
Yes, it is a series starring Anthony Mackie coming out on Peacock on July 27th.
Okay.
There was another show too that I wanted to mention. That's coming out soon.
Are they gonna release the full season, or is it gonna be week to week?
I have no idea.
Okay.
No idea. What was I gonna watch? I mean, for all fans who are interested, the Super Mario Brothers hits Peacock.
Oh yeah, that's
on
right.
August 3rd.
August 3rd. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that because I didn't get a chance to go see it in
neither.
movies. So I definitely want to go see that. What else there was another show that's like coming out soon. And I want to talk about it, but I can't think of it. So we're going to just move on because what we haven't talked about?
What?
Secret Invasion.
You know what? I had that in my head to talk about, and we got sidetracked on something else, and it left my head just as quick.
Secret Invasion.
What'd you think?
It's growing on me.
Yeah.
If I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah, if I got to be 100%.
It's growing on me.
It's growing on me. Yeah, it's growing on me. The first episode did not grab me.
At all.
First episode did not grab me at all. I was like, oh, looks like it's going to be hard to watch.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this about to be another Marvel train wreck.
No, I was like, I can't. I said, don't do it, Marvel, don't do it. And then progressively, with each episode.
With each episode, I'm saying, okay,
all right,
okay,
all right.
And let's just say first things first. Rest in peace, Maria Hill. You deserved better, sis.
Oh yeah,
You deserve
that surprised me.
so much better.
That surprised me. I did not expect. I did not expect that. Did not expect that.
You deserve so like
because she was such a big presence.
hello.
She was such a big presence,
She deserved better.
Yeah,
She deserves so much better than
yeah,
to just go out like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
I was really, really surprised. When they did that, I was like, oh, heck. No.
Yeah. I was like, she deserved better than
Yeah.
that. She deserved better than that.
Yeah.
She's been too important and been there since the very beginning.
From the beginning, man. From the beginning.
From the very beginning, she's been there. And, like, it was disrespectful how they did her.
Yeah.
What do you think about the people saying that Rhodey's a scroll?
I had not heard that rumor. I hadn't heard that. That was a good scene though between him and Samuel L.
Yeah.
That was a good scene.
I could have watched like another 20 minutes of that.
Yeah, they
Them
could
two going back and
they
forth.
could have ran that.
I'm like, bro.
He said, so you're here to fire me? He said, I requested it. I was like,
I said, he called you a nigga. Like, that's just, I'm like,
oh man.
I'm like, you gonna let that black man talk to you like that? But like, I felt like that every time, because like, Rhodey would say something and I look at Sam and I'm like, you gonna let that black man talk to you like that?
Yeah.
But then Sam would say something and I'd be like, you gonna let that black man talk to you like that?
Yeah.
Like, I just kept going back and forth. Like, y'all just gonna let these black men talk to each other like this at this table?
So somebody should be fighting right. Somebody should be fighting.
Hello.
Somebody should be fighting right.
Who's swinging
now.
first?
Yeah.
Also, it would back like the whole Rhodey being the scroll thing.
I had not heard that rumor.
There's a rumor that Rhodey's a scroll. One, because of how callous he was towards Fury.
Oh my God! It was like
during that I'm like, y'all acting like y'all ain't got years in this together.
Like you have no knowledge of each other. Like you have never worked together.
Yeah.
There is no working relationship. Like you just got like y'all literally just met each other.
Yes.
You know.
I was like, bro,
bruh,
why are you acting like that? And because where his leg brace go?
Who?
Rhodey?
Hadn't paid that any attention either, but
He ain't have no leg brace.
Yeah.
He should have had a leg brace. Remember, his legs don't work without him. Because of that fall. His legs don't work. And Tony dead, so he can't say that he made an upgrade for him. Because you could say Tony made the legs.
Yeah.
He ain't make that upgrade.
So maybe Rhodey is a scroll.
Rhodey's a scroll.
And maybe Samuel L. knows. Maybe Fury,
he probably does now.
And maybe Fury has kind of figured it out. You know?
I need him to get back.
Yeah.
I need him to go find that eye patch, put it back on.
Yeah.
He been acting soft with them two eyes. He been acting real soft. Like, bro, here's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Go find that eye patch and shave.
Put it back on. Yeah, and shave.
Find that eye patch and shave.
Start wearing your all black again.
Yes.
Start putting, we want.
Because why his clothes look old and dusty like he an old retired man. Like, what are you doing, sir?
It's like we want that Nick Fury to come back.
Even though, because that's what the lady told him. Mm-hmm. In the very first episode, she said, "Hey, yo, whatever fight is on its way, you, sir, you ain't prepared for it.
You're not ready for it.
You ain't ready for it.
You're not ready." She was like, "You're old and you're like this Nick Fury here is like is old and tired."
Yeah. And the crazy part is, I like what they're doing, and I think that should have been explored more. And that it's crazy that they waited until now to try to like delve into it. But like they said his reasoning for leaving was because he mentally wasn't the same after the blip.
After the blip, yeah.
This is the very first time they even thought to mention people's mental state after the blip.
That never occurred to me that you might be, that what a person's mental state might have been to have gone from being nothing to come back. What was it, like
5 years?
5 years later.
Yeah.
And to come back to a world that's moved on without you. Now, it would be one thing if you came back to the same state that you were in beforehand, but you will now come back to a world that has moved on, that has literally moved on without you, and you're sitting there like, all right, now what?
Now what?
now
Yeah.
what? You never
Like
really.
they've never even thought to try to explore what that could be like for someone until now.
Yeah. Especially somebody like him.
Yes.
Yeah. And so when she said that, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
okay.
You're right. Never, ever did anybody think about what that life was like.
Not at all.
And it's like, that could be a thought. You know what's crazy, right? On the subject, but off the subject.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the air, flying in the air, when Thanos snapped, and you disappeared, are you reappearing in the air?
In the air, yeah.
This is also something that what about the millions of people that died post, with the second snap? Because let's say you were in the middle of the street when you disappeared, as what happened in Spider-Man when the people reappeared, the marching band reappeared in the middle of a basketball game and a couple people got run into. I'm driving down the street in my car, in my automobile.
And somebody just
and there's no one there.
Yeah. So.
But then you just appear and then you gone again.
Gone again.
Gone again.
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, this is not anything important. Yeah. This is just my weird warped brain thinking things like this. But this is stuff I would think about.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
Like, what about the people who were, in the air when Thanos snapped his fingers in a plane?
Yeah.
Do they reappear in the air? Who's going to catch them?
Or if you're on an ocean liner.
Right.
You're on a cruise living your best life.
And
because again, life has moved on.
Life has moved on. That plane is no longer at that location in the air.
That ship is no longer.
That ship is no longer there.
In the ocean.
In the ocean.
So if you were to appear there,
what if you were scuba diving?
Ooh.
And you vanished, but your gear didn't.
Yeah, because it would have just been
Now because when when Bucky vanished, his guns fell to the ground.
Yeah.
All that were clothes.
But clothes.
So that meant if you were scuba diving.
Same thing with Samuel L. when he was on the phone.
Yeah, when that thing dropped to the ground.
Yeah.
So if you were scuba diving, and you were miles and miles under the sea. And then you come back, you still miles and miles under the sea. Only difference is you don't have oxygen.
Yeah.
And you can't swim to the top.
Ooh.
As quickly.
Yeah.
Whew. Crazy. Stuff you didn't think about.
Nah, I didn't. Like I said, I did not think about that until she said that. Until she said that to him, and I was like, oh, you're right. Nobody addressed that, and with all the people that came back, it's like, what kind of state of mind? You come back into a world that has moved on without you. There have been people that have died. There have been things that have changed. Again. Since the, and the in the 5 years that's happened since with when you first disappeared and then you then reappeared, the Avengers have now defeated Thanos. Right? So you've had that big battle, and again you have been, even though you've been beneficial, it's been beneficial for you, but you've missed all of that. You've missed all of that time. You've missed all of that stuff. So yeah, you would have to have some bit of. I thought about, I think I thought about it briefly in the Spider-Man when he came back and all of his friends did.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it from the perspective of, because some of the kids, the class that they were in, the kids that didn't disappear have graduated.
Yeah, they graduated
and moved on. And so now, but you didn't graduate.
You didn't graduate because you technically have not aged.
You have not aged. You did not graduate. You have got to finish high school. And it's like,
imagine that. Imagine you having a girlfriend.
It would be okay if you had no memory of it.
Right.
But you
remember everything.
You remember everything. Because I think what the part that really kind of touched my, kind of like tugged at my heart was when he was reunited with all of his friends, and they kind of like were back in high school again. But then I thought about it and said, but wait a minute, they're still in high school. Still in high school.
They still got to finish high school.
They still got to finish high school.
When like half of their class
has gone
and graduated.
I was like, wow. I said, what kind of mental state? Yeah. So you kind of like understand why he's a little slow, and why he's a little, and it's not the same. He's really not the same Nick Fury that he was before the blip.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, all right. Well played.
Yeah, well played.
Well played.
I'm interested to see how
this is all going to pan out.
How this is going to pan out.
Yeah.
Especially with Amelia Clark's character dying in the last episode.
And now what they're doing with the serum that's going to turn them all into Super Skrulls. Now, in the comic books, there was just one Super Skrull. And I'm wondering if they're going to do this. I'm wondering how they're going to do it. There was just one Super Skrull, and he had the shape-shifting abilities of a Skrull, but his thing was that he was the combatant of the Fantastic Four. So on top of all that, he had the combined powers of the Fantastic Four, and he could use them however he wanted. So in other words, there are scenes where he was fighting.
Also, he was like, what's the name in Fantastic Four 2?
Yes. Yeah. So there were scenes where he might be fighting. He might be fighting the Fantastic Four, and on one arm he's got one arm like the Thing, and the other arm is on fire like the Human Torch, and he's simultaneously using both powers. So I'm wondering if maybe they might use this as, again, a bridge to kind of like to start thinking about the the family.
I'd be intrigued for that.
Yeah.
I know they were looking at your girl for the role of Sue Storm.
Who?
Margot Robbie.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'd be there for that.
They were looking. I don't think anymore. Mm-hmm. I can't think of the actress's name who they're kind of like focusing in on now.
Okay.
But I know at one point they were definitely, she was in the run, like they were thinking of Margot Robbie for the role.
I could see her as Sue Storm.
I kind of want them to give it to somebody else.
Yeah. I'd want
just
them
to, switch it up.
I'd want them to give it to somebody else. I mean, I could see her as in the role, but I'd rather see it go to somebody else.
Yeah. Just give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody new.
Yeah.
But you know what should never go to anybody else? Especially now that he's back in his OG costume looking just as sick as ever. Wolverine.
You ain't even had to say.
Wolverine.
Nobody but Hugh Jackman. I'm sorry.
I saw a post last night. It said there have been 9 live-action Superman, 8 live-action Batman, 3 live-action Superman. There has only ever been one live-action Wolverine. And it is the GOAT, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And now that they put him back in his comic-accurate suit, I can't wait for that movie. But from what, every day there's like a new person who's like popping up in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're pulling back all of the original Marvel. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they like Edward Norton going to be in this.
Yeah.
Reprising his role as the Hulk. And I'd be like, praise God, because I love Mark Ruffalo. And I loved him as the Hulk. But I hated with every fiber in my being what they did to him in Endgame and going forward.
Yeah. I didn't like what they did with him in Endgame, even though it was kind of like comic book correct, because there was this one point where they did that to him in the comic books, but I didn't like that. I didn't like that character.
So much.
So it was like he had the brains of brains of Banner, but the body of Hulk. But the thing about that is that what made the Hulk was the rage factor.
Yes.
Was the rage factor. It's like you take away the rage factor, yeah, you still got somebody. You got somebody that's strong, but it's like it's not the same.
It's not the same.
You know, because even he would say, even one of his iconic lines from the comic book was that the angrier the Hulk gets,
the stronger he gets. If you don't get angry when you're fighting, guess what you're not going to do anymore?
You're not
get stronger.
You're not going to get stronger. You know, and we have watched the Hulk, and if you're a follower of the comic book, you have seen the Hulk do some iconic stuff because of the rage.
Yes.
Stuff that he probably would not have been able to do had the rage not kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a
my favorite scene from the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton is when he took a car, split it in half, and used it as boxing gloves.
Yeah.
He used the car as boxing gloves.
Yeah.
And went ham on Abomination.
Yep.
And now that Abomination is in the MCU, guess who we could pull to? You could call Ed Norton and be like, "Hey, bro, we need you real quick."
Put Ed Norton back.
We could, because I even liked his Hulk design better.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I love Mark Ruffalo. I love what he did with the character, but I thought Ed Norton was the best one.
Yeah,
yeah.
And throw him in there. Yeah. Throw him in the Deadpool movie, because it seemed like they calling everybody. Like, I heard rumors that the dude who played the Punisher in that movie, the Punisher movie, the first one.
Which one?
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Was that Thomas Jane?
Sure, I don't remember his name.
I can't remember. I think that's who that was.
That was the one Kevin Nash was in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard they called him, like, Jennifer Gardner's coming back as Elektra. Like,
I was
you got Wolverine coming in there.
Yeah.
I heard they called Pat Stewart and Ian McKellen to come back as Professor X and Wolverine. Like, me? They calling, like, next thing you know, Nick Cage gonna show up as Ghost Rider in this movie. And honestly, I would be here for it.
I would be, yeah, definitely.
Because these are the people who kept Marvel afloat until we got where we are now.
Yeah, I would be there for that. So when I had just read about the Elektra, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I'm intrigued to see.
That would be awesome.
But the writer's strike is affecting that movie. Because from what I'm hearing, it's affecting his ability to riff. He can't, like, you know how, like, like the jokes. Mm-hmm. He can't just like freely.
Oh no.
Yeah, like
the only person who's not coming back. I really wish he would come back, and I'm hoping that maybe they might before all of this is said and done, is the guy who played the bartender.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's not coming back. I thought he had some of the. He had some of the best lines.
Yeah, they gotta find a way to, even if it's like for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, he had some of the best lines.
You know who I'm sad isn't coming back? Zazie Beetz.
Yeah. I thought she was good. I thought she was good as Domino. Yeah.
I heard what's the name was coming back, which was cool. What's the guy? He had like a regular name. It was like Paul or Mark.
No, stop. He's coming back.
I believe I read that somewhere. I could be wrong. He did.
No. He didn't die. He was the only one who survived.
Yeah, like I heard he was coming back.
Yeah. He was the only one who survived. He didn't, and if I remember correctly, he didn't have any powers, did he?
No, he didn't. He was just the guy who saw the ad.
Yeah, it just showed up.
He just showed up.
And they hired
him.
Everybody wants to be in this movie, though.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
One more for the road.
One more for the road. Yeah. And now it's possibly going to be pushed back because of the strikes. And, they just can't pay the people what they're supposed to be paying the people. Yeah. Pay the people.
Again.
Pay them.
Sad that we're here again.
Yeah. Pay the people.
Pay everyone.
Pay the people.
Their worth. Pay the people.
Yeah.
Can't call this episode that, unfortunately, because they will get confused with the first Pay the People. But I'm be like, Pay the People, part 2.
Pay the people.
But yeah,
But yeah, like we said, put in the comment section. What are you gonna watch?
What you gonna watch?
What are you gonna watch?
Let us know. Because there's a lot out there, so maybe we're missing stuff.
Yeah. And besides that, we've given you some of our favorites. What are your favorites? You might agree with us, and you may have something that we may not have touched on, may have forgotten about.
Because like I said, I'm sure there's something we forgot about because there is just so much out there to watch currently.
Yep.
Who has time to watch it all?
You don't.
You don't.
Again, so I said I might go back and revisit because I have not watched it again since the first time. I might go back and revisit. Now I can't even call the name. Walter White.
Oh, Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad. Yeah, maybe go back and rewatch that.
Oh, The Chi comes out next month.
The who?
Season 6 of The Chi.
See, that's another show. Did not watch. Wanted to watch. Just never got into it. And now, I may go back
coming out. Lynn Whitfield's in this season.
Who?
They've added Lynn Whitfield.
Get out.
To this season.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I may go back and get
it's a good show.
It's a good show. No,
I thought it was gonna.
Everybody I know who watches it have said it's a great show. It's a great show.
I'm surprised it survived, given all the its controversy. I'm glad it was able to rebound and continue.
I did not think. Yeah, I didn't think it would recover after the
but
controversy. But it did.
I'm glad for that.
I'm glad. Yeah. Shout out to y'all.
The show shouldn't have been canceled just because of one person.
Yeah.
But so I'm glad it did rebound and recover. But like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you're gonna watch. Let us know if we've missed anything. Mm-hmm. Let us know if you agree with some of our suggestions. Let us know. Hit us up. Talk to us. We'll talk back.
We'll talk back.
But until the next one.
We out.
Peace.